Hey, today's episode is about tattooing eyes like in a composition and not physically tattooing eyeballs, right? I mean, if you clicked on this video thinking that we were going to demonstrate how to tattoo someone's eyeballs, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is a family tattoo show, right? We just don't talk about that kind of stuff. Hey, Shaka Bras, welcome to the Fireside. My name is Jake. Very excited to have you back here for another episode of 3 Minutes to Better Tattooing. Today's episode features our buddy Jesse Smith. We were lucky enough to film a webinar with Jesse a few months back at the Paradise BYOB, and he was kind enough to let us clip out a little nugget of it to share with you, and it's about his approach to designing eyes. I'm going to go ahead and let him give his tip, and then I'll share my thoughts after the episode, so I hope you enjoy.
Understanding eyes. I feel like a lot of people, they look at an eye and they're like, okay, there's a dark spot in the middle, color around the side, a little bit of white on the side, and then a highlight. And as I started studying eyes, I started being able to play with them a little bit more. And as you can see right here on this cat eye, a lot of times you'll see the kind of horizon line or wherever the wall comes up to the window, and then you'll see the light that's coming through the window or the light from the sun or whatever. And here you can actually see there's like a little person here taking a picture of the cat's eye right there, and there's some sort of overhang. But understanding like that essentially what you see in the eye is kind of like a fisheye view of the environment that's in front of you. So understanding where your heaviest light's coming from within that environment. Is it the sun? So that makes that little bit of light there. But then there's also some sort of horizon line. If it's in the sun, you'll see like trees popping up here, and that'll curve. And then everything below it'll be dark, and then it'll start getting a little bit lighter. Obviously, there's a lot of different ways that the light can hit the eye, but when you start understanding that, you can start getting a little more, drawing your eyes with intention and understanding how these things are working.
So the thing that I kind of wanted to reinforce or stress that Jesse mentioned is that he's taking examples from real life, like the reflection in the cat's eye, and applying it in his own very stylized way to his new school kind of approach to tattooing. And I think eyeballs are one of those things that we tend to kind of draw what we think we know, like an oval football shape, and like Jesse mentioned, with like a separation from the pupil to the iris, and then the whites of the eye being very white. And if you think about it, none of that is really true. It's important to look at eyes and really at any kind of feature, anything that you're drawing, and break it down into the abstract shapes. So very often with eyes, not just from a new school approach, but just eyes in general, they're not very light at all. In fact, they're recessed into your head, and you've got this kind of awning with your eyebrow. So, and depending on how, someone is staring at you, a lot of times you can't distinguish between the pupil, the iris, and the kind of shadow from the eyelid. They all kind of block into one shape. A lot of times also you can't really even see the whites of the eye, and then most importantly, the whites of the eye are not white at all. They're typically on the darker side of the value scale because they are recessed. Typically, the light on a cheek will be much lighter than the whites of the eye, and the only real light in the eye might be that kind of highlight that Jesse's talking about. But the biggest thing is, the reason I thought this was such a great tip is because it gives you so much freedom to kind of play with the eyes and kind of create. We've been talking a lot about creating narratives and storytelling. We've been doing these illustrative series, and people are drawn to eyes anyway. So when you're designing them, feel free to take liberties with them and use them to kind of show what that character is seeing. Instead of just kind of using generic eyeballs. You can do so much with them by leaving the pupil and the iris out and showing the reflection of the environment or anything else. It's just a fun little thing to think about and a fun thing to play with in your designs. If you want to check out that entire seminar that Jesse put together, it's really fantastic. It was a 3-part seminar. I went through and I edited it down into 3 separate parts. One is kind of his his start to tattooing, his journey from the late 90s all the way up to today. The second part is really about his design and tattooing process. And the third part is about color theory. And they're all very well put together, well thought out, and tons of little great ideas like this one that he just shared today. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting what we do. Oh, by the way, I'll leave a link to that webinar in the video description below. It's being housed over at Reinventing the Tattoo. So it'll lead you over to Reinventing the Tattoo. I think it's $100 for the webinar. Like I said, 3 parts. It's about 2.5, 3 hours long. Well worth it. Well worth it. I guarantee you'll get a lot out of it. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting what we do, and we'll catch you in the next episode.